Look at another scenario. Let's just say I couldn't get the high elbow guillotine. We talked about how it was sort of on its own. There is no real transition to other submissions. So if we can't get the high elbow guillotine, we can look for the arm and guillotine. And that leads us down the pathway of Darce or Anaconda as well. Whether I wanted them all along, you can play around with this. Maybe you favour those submissions. We'll keep it simple. We'll do the same setup again. So say I'm playing butterfly, I'm going to butt scoop in. I'm going to look for that single necktie. I'm going to get some kind of wrist control, carlet posture. I'm looking to snap down and get that Butterfoot in position in the hip. I want to make him deal with that. If he's not pushing that off, I'm snapping the head down and pushing. Okay, the minute his hand's there, I just push it. I'm meeting that. I'm just snapping it down. Let's just say Carl was quick, and when I was going for the guillotine, he used his free left arm to stop my right hand making a connection. Perfect. So I can pull this back and then come under the armpit. So now we're into our arm and guillotine. And you can finish the arm and guillotine from there. We've already discussed that, where I can come across and get into my position from here. But we're just going to look at, sometimes people like, at beginner level, sometimes it's harder to finish the arm and guillotine because you don't have the same snugness and you've got an arm inside it. So sometimes a good pathway is to go back to the Darce and back to the Anaconda. So from our position, let's just say we were here in butterfly. Okay, if I want to transition to the Darce from here, I need to get back to the front headlock position. So I'm just going to fall onto my elbow, the one that's around his head. Disengage, don't fall over, bro. Disengage, because if he, right, okay, don't fall over. If he does fall over, that's a simple Darce. Okay. Carl will want to stay on his knees. So once I'm here, alright, when I fall onto my elbow, Carl wants his base, he wants to stay on his knees. I just bring my legs up, and now we're back up into the front headlock position. We've already addressed this. From that position, I'm shooting deep. I'm moving around Carl. Once I'm on my right side, I want to get Carl onto the side. So I'm just walking home the position towards him, pushing that down to get the bite. And then we have our Darce. So, same setup. I make this, I want back. See the way Carl's stripping that off as well? We're back just to 2-on-1s. And then I come back in again. It'll be a constant. There's so many scenarios that can happen. But again, if I have that, I can push. The minute he pushes that off, that's when I want it. Looking for the guillotine, but maybe he's savvy with his hand and I can't get the connection, so I'm coming. If he's defending in front of his left shoulder, I'm coming behind it. And I make that connection. Once I make that connection, that loop doesn't let go. So first option is, if he stays turtled, I'm just going to fall onto that elbow and disengage my hooks. And then I'm back up into the front headlock position. I'm moving around him. Darce punches through, falling onto my side. Once I have that connection, now I want to tilt him onto the side. Remember we talked about using our elbow to get his head in that sweet spot. Then when I make the connection, it's on. That's option one. Option two, we can make use. What's butterfly guard so good for? Butterfly sweeping, yes. So, say we're playing the game, I move in, I get the Butterfoot in, he addresses it, I snap it down. Maybe I want that arm and guillotine. That makes sense. I've got a really good butterfly hook here, so I'm just going to disengage my left one, the one that's on the same one that has the arm and guillotine. I bring it out to this side, and now I'm just going to launch Carl with my right butterfly hook. I don't want him flat on his back. I'm turning onto my left side. I want Carl on his right side. We talked about that connection, and then from there I use my elbow to get his back of his head in my belly. Into our Anaconda, which we've already addressed, so we're not going to details on that. Playing the game, single necktie, Butterfoot. That's the reaction I want. Just snap it down. Arm and guillotine this time. So if I want to make use of the butterfly guard as a sweep, disengage that foot. Now I'll use my right hook to sweep Carl onto the side. using my left elbow just to get his head, the back of his head in my belly, hand to hand. We also talked about his defense. You want to flare that elbow up. Now I don't have the space now at Carl's left jugular, left shoulder. Talked about hipping out and using the leg to smear that down. And then from there, we have connection. Single necktie, Butterfoot, that's the reaction I want. Maybe I'm going for the high elbow guillotine, but Carl's hands is quick, he's defending, good reflexes, I come underneath. Okay, once I've made that grip, now from there I'm just going to disengage my first hook, the one that's on the same side as the headlock, and now I just use my right butterfly hook to sweep Carl onto his right side. Staying tight is what I want there. Anytime I feel that elbow coming up, I'll wipe it down, punch this through, connection, we're in. Or maybe you favour the Darce, playing the whole game, get that Butterfoot, that's what I want, snap it in, arm and guillotine again. Maybe I suck at the Anaconda and I much prefer to get into the front headlock position. Nothing's changed. If you're up against people that aren't just as good with their base, sometimes what will happen is when I fall onto my elbow, Carl will fall onto the side, and then I just come through. The Darce is there. Better players. And we're here. When I fall onto my elbow, he'll stay. As long as my knees are out, now I'm coming up, and then I can punch that through. Once I punch that through, I move around Carl. Once I get that connection, then I get him onto the side. From there, don't put it on until you get his head in the right place. You're going to use your elbow. I want to push Carl's chin into his chest. That makes sense. Back to the Anaconda one. So we're here, which is why butterfly guard is such a sweet position. The minute he deals with that, I snap it down. Okay, once we're in our position there, I can sweep him this way. Now we have him in our Anaconda control. Maybe Carl opens that elbow up, maybe he braces it on, goes hand to hand, and he just physically can't wipe it down and he can't get the reaction that I want. I just bring my legs up and come around the other way.